Today I want to show you a routine that strengthens, tones, and is a safe exercise for your shoulders as long as you have full mobility of your shoulders. So if you have a frozen shoulder impingement, you have a really difficult time lifting your arms over your head without suffering from like significant shoulder pain, this exercise routine you might want to set on the side until you regain full control of your shoulders, full ranges of motion, movements in full range of motion without pain and discomfort. If your shoulders are feeling pretty good and you want to maintain their health, maintain their strength, and tone them up, this routine will be a great one. A few things I want you to always think about with your whole body before you start to put it through vigorous exercise, whether it's heavy or light. It's important to move your body and get it warmed up. So we're going to work on the shoulders. So I like to do shoulder rolls backwards, trying to relax the rest of the body while you do this. Unclench your jaw, relax your neck, and nice shoulder rolling backwards and then forwards. I say 10 to 20 rotations in both directions. I'm not doing the full routine. I'm going to just run through the basics so that you can take time doing it, but you have some guidance. Shoulder shrugs, so pull them up and press them down. I like to visualize my shoulders coming up to the bottoms of my ears, and then when I press them down, I'm pressing my shoulder blades into my back pocket. And after you've done a few of the slower controlled, you can do what I call the I don't knows, just to encourage some blood flow to your shoulders. The next one might be a little intimidating for you at first. It's called shoulder dislocates, and oftentimes people will use a PVC pipe, a wooden dowel, something that's stiff to do this. My recommendation is to use if you are, below 5'9", a 6-foot dowel. So this one's not 6 feet. It's a little under, maybe it's 5 feet. This works for me, but if you're just starting out, the more you have to work with and can bring your arms out, and my room's even too small for you to see that, the better chance you have in doing this full rotation. See where my hands are here? I will never get my shoulders to do this exercise with my hands here. So starting out in a wide position, you want to bring this dowel up over your head and back down and around. Now I've been doing this for a while, so that might look a little too easy. When I first started out, I had some significant left shoulder issues going on. I believe I had some shoulder impingement syndrome, overtraining, and I could barely bring that shoulder up without it being in discomfort. But I found that this is what helped get me out of that. And so when I would get up to this point, I don't know if I was intimidated or just wasn't able to get this arm to full circle back down and around. So what I started out doing, I'd get to a point where I felt stuck, and then I'd wiggle my arms down and then wiggle it up and around back to the front and really in one session I was able to do that. I kept a really wide grip, came up, worked with it on both sides. And then after a few tries, I thought, I'll give it a go. I gave it a go, and whoosh, right down like that. So work on this. You may not have this full rotation that I have down. And then once you get that down, you can bring your hands closer and make it more challenging. So I'll bring my hands into a challenging position. So right here, I will not be able to this is where I stop and get stuck, okay? I'm not looking to increase the range of motion and get really flexible. I just want to be able to move my shoulders safely in their fullest range of motion. So this has really helped. It's helped reduce pain and discomfort in that shoulder. So I like to do this as a warm-up. If you're new to it and you don't have that full circle that you can go up and over and back around, work on bending the elbow, spend a little bit of time, a couple minutes just playing around with it each time is going to encourage blood flow to your shoulders. And again, only do this if you feel safe doing that. Also, if you have mastered it and you're like, yeah, I've got it, I want you to be methodical with your movement, so controlled. I sometimes work out at a gym where there's a lot of younger folks there, and this is a newish kind of, it's been around, shoulder dislocates have been around for a long time, but this kind of made its way out there into social media. And I think it's great. I love seeing younger people actually doing things that's going to benefit them in the long term. I wish I had learned this stuff, or that it was stressed as an important warm-up tool in my younger years, because I might not have the struggles that I have now with my shoulders and hips. So I will see them doing it this way really fast, okay? Not saying that's wrong, but where we're at, our goals in life, nice and controlled, pause at the bottom, come around, pause at the bottom here, and feel these movements. Start developing that mind to body, mind to muscle, and mind to movement connection. Oh, it's going to be so important for us to keep this brain connecting with our body. And as we age, that disconnect becomes further apart. So if we can reel it in somehow, and this is a great way to do that. So work on that for a little while. If you've got it down where you can do a full rotation, I say 10 repetitions full. So this is 1, 2, and then you can graduate to, or a little bit easier thing to use would be a resistance band. And this now is going to start strengthening some of your internal, external rotators of your shoulder. And again, you can start with a lighter resistance where it's pretty easy to get this up and over. You can even pull it apart to get that full range. Might be something to give a try. But at some point, make it a little bit more challenging. And when you're in this down position, if you press your hands back, you're going to move your shoulders some, and that's going to help add some resistance in the internal and external rotators of your shoulders. Right here is going to internally rotate those shoulders, and right here is going to bring them out into a little bit more of an external rotation. Pause at the bottom of each movement. So 1 repetition would be right here. There's 1. I hear all kinds of gristle noises, creaking and cracking and popping. None of it hurts. That's 2. It doesn't hurt. I feel really warm. I can feel the blood flow going to my shoulders, and it's a great thing. It's great. It just feels good. This is just a great exercise to do, even if you're not going to go into a shoulder routine. So those are called shoulder dislocates, one with a dowel or PVC pipe, and then the second one you can use a resistance band. Play around with it. Shoulder rolls, forward and backward, shoulder shrugs, even single arm movements. Move your shoulder in all of its ranges of motion so that you can start encouraging more flexibility and more range of motion. So a great way to warm up. Once you've warmed up, this routine I'm going to show you is one of the only routines that I use a really light weight, and I go with 25, 30 reps. What we're doing is just really challenging our shoulders, and we're talking front deltoid, the lateral, the top, and the rear, the shoulder, not the back, triceps, biceps, or pecs. So I do this with 5-pound dumbbells, but I don't get as many repetitions as I'd like. But male or female, choose a very light load to do. I don't have 3 or 4 pound. I have 2-pound weights, which works just fine. I can still feel the burn. And what you want to do is you're going to do A lot of repetitions, fairly quick pace, and you're not going to rest in between your exercises, and then you have minimal rest in between your sets. So the first exercise you're going to do is going to be your front deltoid raises, and you can hold your hands on your dumbbells, horizontal or the vertical, or rotate between the two. And you're going to shoot for 20 to 25 repetitions here. Start feeling the burn, still maintain good form. And as soon as you get to 20, 25, 30, and you're just, it should be working, like burning, go into lateral raises. A couple ways of doing lateral raises. This is one way I like to do them. Another way I like to mimic the lateral raise machine in the gym. When you're standing, this may work a little nicer for you. Again, you're right into counting 20, 25 to 30 repetitions here. Go into your shoulder press-ups. Hand position can be vertical, woo, it's burning, or horizontal. Shooting for 20, 25, 30 of these. Oh yeah, now you, at the rear deltoid, the back part of your shoulder, you could grab a lighter weight or just go right into, when we do bent over rows, we really work on having those elbows close to the body, keep them low, and imagine pulling to your back pocket. That's to engage as many of those back muscles as possible. But we're shooting for rear deltoid, so pulling that elbow up and getting more of the shoulder activation, that's what we're looking for. So I go into a semi, like I'm not completely bent over, and I am keeping the elbows close, but I'm more pulling them up rather than back. And you get the burn. It might be a little harder here because these are a bit stronger muscles moving here. A few more muscles, let's say, helping. 20, 25 to 30. Stop and rest 15 to 30 seconds, and then go again with your front deltoid raises. Shoot for another set of 20, 25, go into your lateral raises, into your shoulder press-ups, and then into your rear deltoid rows. Rest 15 to 30 seconds. Do it again. See if you can do 3 sets, 4 sets, up to maybe 6 sets. You're really going to be burning. You should be, if it's working. The order in which you do your exercise is not as important. I just say picture you're hitting the 4 parts: the front, the top, the back, and the side. So if you start with lateral raises, go into your shoulder presses, do your front deltoid and your rear. That's okay. Do all 4 exercises each set. Shoot for more reps, lighter weight. Feel the burn. Rest 15 to 30 seconds. Only do this if your shoulder burn is, if it's burning, it's working. If you feel sharp shooting pains, we don't want to do that, especially if you already know you have some pre-existing shoulder issues. Warm up with the shoulder dislocates, with the right resistance band, shoulder rolls, and then cooling down, you can do some stretching. So to stretch this front deltoid muscle, you can bring your hands behind your back, keep them close to your body, press down as far as you can go, as long as you feel a nice stretch right here, and hold for 20, 30, 40 seconds, whatever. You might even only hold for 10 seconds. Get in the rear deltoid, bring that arm up in front. Keep it nice and straight between your wrist and your elbow. Come in between, and as your shoulders and hips are still facing forward, pull that arm across your body. Stop and hold where you feel resistance. Avoid trying to turn with it. That you think you're going deeper, but you are just taking away from that good stretch there. But we're shooting for a stretch right in here. Okay, and then bringing your arms out like you're going to hug. A big hug around a tree, or you're grabbing a giant bundle of kittens and you just reach, pull those hands down, and really feel a good stretch through your back. You could do some more shoulder rolls, reaching over your head, bringing those arms down. So warm up through movement, do your exercises, and then cool down with stretching and some more movement. Stay hydrated and pay attention to how you feel. This exercise is something I wouldn't do every single day. I don't ever encourage doing the same strength training exercises 2 days in a row. But if you include it once a week, twice a week, see how you feel. You should, what we're doing is conditioning those smaller muscles of the shoulder, strengthening them in a very safe way, and toning them so they get nice tone in there. For me, it's more important to prevention of injury. So I look at about strength, mobility, flexibility, moving in my fullest range of motion over whether or not I can pop a bicep out, do my shoulders look lit when I'm in a tank top. That's all good. That's a great goal. For me, the big picture is you're doing this for long-term health. I hope this is a fun routine for you to give a try. Reach out if you have any questions, and remember, only work within the limits that you have and within your abilities that you have.